Nick returned home early from 6 months at sea to surprise his wife and daughter. He was expecting to open the door to an excited and loving family. Instead, he walked in on his worst nightmare.
Let me start from the beginning. My name is Nick, and after finishing high school without a clear direction for my life, I made the decision to join the Navy when I turned 18. While at Navy A school after completing basic training, I met Rebecca through a dating app. She was 6 years older than me, and despite the age gap, we clicked instantly. Talking with each other felt so natural, and soon we had both fallen head over heels for each other. Our relationship progressed rapidly, and 4 months after meeting, we tied the knot. I can still remember the looks and comments from friends and family who questioned our decision to marry so quickly. They thought I was moving too quickly and continuously asked if I was making the right move. Honestly, I wish I had listened to them back then. A year into our marriage, Becky and I welcomed a beautiful baby girl into our lives. It felt like a dream come true. The joy and responsibility of fatherhood transformed me in ways I hadn't anticipated. I was living what I believed was the perfect life: a loving wife, a precious daughter, and a fulfilling career in the Navy. Fast forward 5 years, I returned home early from a grueling 6-month deployment at sea. My plan was to surprise my wife and daughter, as they weren't expecting me back for another week. I was looking forward to seeing the surprise on their faces as I approached the home I had bought 2 years prior for my family. I had seen videos on the internet of other military personnel coming home to surprise their loved ones, and I wanted to recreate the same experience for my daughter and wife. As I opened the door, I saw my daughter sitting on the sofa playing games on her iPad. She saw me come in and ran at me with a joyful shout, "Daddy's home!" As I lifted her into my arms, I heard my wife upstairs swearing. I chuckled at that because she is often clumsy, and I figured she'd dropped something or kicked her toe from the shock of hearing me walk through the door. I put my daughter down and told her to play her games while I went upstairs to see Mommy. It had been a lonely 6 months at sea, and I was eager to embrace my wife, if you know what I mean. I ran up the stairs and stopped short at the bedroom door. I heard a man's voice coming from the bedroom and the door was locked. Becky yelled out and told me to wait. "Don't come in." I tried to make sense of the situation, but I couldn't think of any good scenario where my wife would be in our bedroom with a locked door with another man. I kicked open the door and was confronted with a sight I could hardly comprehend. My wife and a man, both partially undressed, stood before me. Becky desperately tried to explain that it wasn't what it looked like, that he was just a friend. But as my eyes locked onto the man, my anger surged. I told him to get the hell out of my house. He just looked at Becky like he was questioning whether he should go or not, and it really pissed me off. It was my damn house he was in, and if I tell you to get the hell out, you damn well get the hell out. I lost my composure and popped him square in the jaw and grabbed him by the hair, dragged him down the stairs and threw him out the front door. Becky was screaming at me the whole time to stop. Let him go. Don't hurt him. I told her to get dressed while I comforted our daughter, who was scared and crying downstairs. My world had been shattered in an instant. The trust I had placed in the person I loved most had been betrayed beyond measure. The man she had been with was a Jody, someone who preys on sailors' wives during their deployments. But the thing that really infuriated me was that Becky had brought a stranger into our family home and was busy screwing him upstairs while my daughter was left by herself, unsupervised downstairs. I just couldn't believe Becky could be so irresponsible as a mother. Since then, I've been living in the barracks, grappling with a tsunami of emotions. I filed for divorce. I can't imagine trying to rebuild a life with someone who had shattered my trust so profoundly. And then there's my daughter. The thought of losing precious moments with her cuts deep. My Navy career demands extended periods away, and I know I won't be able to provide her with the stability she deserves. It's a heart-wrenching realization, knowing that I won't be able to hold her close whenever she needs her dad. Betrayal leaves deep scars. I'm thankful for the support of family, friends, and fellow sailors. I'm uncertain about the future, but I'm determined to rebuild my life and show my daughter that resilience is possible in the face of heartbreak. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you for taking the time to read my story.
Thanks for sharing, Nick. You know, it's stories like these that just make my blood boil. Nick is a young guy with his whole life ahead of him. Selflessly joins the Navy to serve his country, only to come back home and find his wife shacking up with another man in their own damn house. It's an absolute disgrace. This whole tale reeks of moral decay and a lack of personal responsibility. Becky is the epitome of selfishness. She betrays her husband's trust while he's off serving his country and then has the audacity to claim it's just a friend. What a load of crap. And then to bring that guy into their family home. Unbelievable. She cares more about her own pleasure than the well-being of their daughter, leaving her unsupervised downstairs while she's busy fooling around upstairs. What kind of mother does that? The guy she was with is a low-life scumbag. It's bad enough that he's engaging in this disgusting behavior, but to do it in the home of a military man who's out there putting his life on the line. It's sickening. Nick's reaction is entirely understandable. If it was me, though, I would have done a lot more than sock the guy on the jaw and drag him out by the hair. But I guess he had his daughter in the back of his mind and needed to continue as a role model for her. Nick's put in all this effort to provide for his family and build a life, only to have it shattered by the person he trusted the most. Who wouldn't be angry in that situation? And to think that he has to grapple with all of this while trying to serve his country and provide for his daughter, it's a heavy burden to bear. I have nothing but respect for Nick's decision to file for divorce, but he should have listened to the people in his life who warned him about getting hitched so quickly. He should have taken it slower and vetted Becky to see if she was a quality human being who deserved his love and support. Nick deserves better than a wife who could betray him so easily. How many years had she been going behind his back while he was out there risking his life? I guarantee this wasn't the first time she had played up. It's just a shame that his daughter has to be caught in the middle of all this. This is a perfect example of why traditional family values are so important. It's about loyalty, commitment, and taking care of your own. But of course, these days, those values seem to be thrown out the window. In the end, Nick's story is a reminder of how fragile trust and relationships can be, especially in a world where moral decay and selfishness run rampant. I commend his determination to rebuild his life and show his daughter that even in the face of heartbreak, you can still find a way to stand strong. It's just a shame that he has to endure all of this because of the poor choices of others. What do you think about Nick coming home to see his wife screwing another man? What would you have done in this situation? Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching and make sure to stick around for my next video. Bye.